Such a bizarre story out of Calgary. Maybe you saw the news a couple months ago. There is a subsidized housing complex called Shaganappi Village, mainly with new immigrants to Canada, in this case mainly black immigrants, but there was one white family that lived there too. Blair France and her husband lived there with their 2 kids. But the other kids would bully her kids in racialized fights, as in not just regular fights that any kids would get into, but black on white fights because of race. The black kids would say anti-white derogatory terms to her kids. Not quite gang fights, but picking on the France kids because they were white. In Calgary, which is sort of weird. Now, Blair France did what any good liberal would do. She had an anti-bullying picnic, and she invited all the other families in the housing project to attend. A community barbecue, she called it. Friendship and brotherly love and hot dogs would conquer everything. It was the perfect social justice warrior moment, which is why that barbecue received media attention around the world, even making it into big British tabloids. Yeah, that's the thing about bullies, though. They'll take your free hot dog and then they'll still throw rocks at you. Here's a video of kids pelting the France home with rocks while other parents just watch no problem. Now, police had been told about this problem many times, and so had the City of Calgary's Public Housing Authority, and it's been literally international news, but no one gave a damn. Things got worse after all the social justice reporters and the anti-bullying reporters left and the barbecue was turned off. Things went from bad to worse. The France kids started literally getting death threats. So the family moved out, just left. The racists won. They run Shaganappi Village now, not the city that owns it. Calgary's Mayor Naheed Nenshi is silent on this matter, of course. I've checked his YouTube page and his Twitter feed. Lots of tweets about missing cats and dogs. That's Nenshi's specialty, especially when things go horribly wrong in the city. Just like a year or so ago when there was a massive race riot outside his own office in City Hall. About 800 Muslim extremists were having a pro-Hamas rally when they spotted a Jewish family across the street counter-protesting. So about 50 of these Muslim extremists peeled off, crossed the street, and beat up the Jews, sending the family to the hospital. No police came for half an hour, even though this was literally on the steps of City Hall. Not a word from the mayor or the police chief then because, you know, they were just Jews. Same thing with this family in public housing. I mean, could you imagine if it were reversed? If this family, driven out of their home by racist death threats and rocks being thrown at them, were a visible minority family and the perpetrators were white racists, the mayor would be camped out there issuing press releases, the police would be deployed with their SWAT team, the Human Rights Commissions would swoop in, it wouldn't end. But in this case, none of that, because that's the leftist narrative. Minorities can't be racist, you see? So let's just not talk about this and maybe it'll go away. That's too bad, because most of the people living in Shaganappi Village are new Canadians. They're immigrants. They come from awful places in many cases, dictatorships, violent places where gangs rove the streets, places where ethnic strife is normal, where it's okay to hate people based on religion or race. That's not the Canadian way. We have to intervene here, not just to protect the France family, though it's too late for that, and not just to uphold the rule of law and our own norms, but to assimilate these newcomers, to let them know what it means to be Canadian, that we don't pick on each other. It's not right for people to pick on them because they're black, and it's not okay for them to pick on other people because they're white. We have to show them that our law is colorblind and that they're not above anybody, they're not below anybody. We're all equal before the law in Canada. And frankly, that's probably why they chose to come here rather than some awful place in the world. Right now, Shaganappi Village is a de facto no-go zone, isn't it? I'm not talking about the banlieues of Paris where they torch cars every night. It's not that bad. Right now it's just racist kids throwing rocks and making death threats while their parents stand by idly and watch. It's not a violent crisis yet, but maybe it's 1 or 2 steps away. Too bad the Human Rights Commission doesn't care about everyone's real human rights, and too bad Calgary's Mayor Naheed Nenshi cares a lot more about lost cats and dogs than he does about a family that's just lost its home. But given his appalling conduct during the Palestinian riots last year, are you really surprised? For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levance.